All right, in this matchup, we have the battle of the AFC North. The first place Ravens versus the crappy last place Browns, with the Baltimore being favored by 8 points and the over and under being 45 points. Let's just start with the Browns right away. Browns lose Watson for the year, and I didn't even know they had Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was their third string quarterback. But if you guys, if some of you don't know or have forgotten, he started a few years for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he started a year or two for the Saints. So I didn't even know. I forgot he was on this team. He's better than DTR, the other quarterback that's behind Watson, and I would arguably say he's probably better than Watson because he has a cannon for an arm. He had some good seasons with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think by losing Watson and adding Jameis Winston, that's actually an improvement. I know other players don't want to see other players get hurt, but there's probably some Cleveland Brown players thinking like, hey, our offense might be able to move the ball. We actually might be able to do anything now that Winston's the quarterback. So in addition by subtraction. Nick Chubb, a little more, he gets to play in this game, a little more rushes underneath his belt. Ford is not going to be in this game, the other running back, but not a bad running back trio. They got Nick Chubb, he's going to get more carries. Pierre Strong Jr., not that bad, and Foreman, not bad. Those are actually a nice little trio. If Nick Chubb was 100%, it'd be actually a real good running back room, but this is probably average, Their whole offense is about average, but to below average since they traded Amari Cooper. But they were terrible. Now that Jameis Winston brings them up probably below average, but it's not that terrible in the offense. Now they have a quarterback to get him the ball. They can't just worry about the run anymore when opposing teams playing the Browns. Winston can throw over the top. He has that kind of arm. So I think the rushing game was going to be beneficial because of Winston. They're 2-5 against the spread. They're one of the suckiest teams in the league. The Browns have been underdogs 4 times this season and only have won once. So not good since they are an 8-point dog in this. But though the Cleveland Browns are 4th in the league in rushing yards allowed. So they're a great rushing team for defense, and that's good because they're going against the Ravens, the number 1 rushing offense. Let's get on the Ravens already. They look like one of the best teams, one of the teams that could reach the Super Bowl. I mean, what else can be said about them? They put up 41 points against the Buccaneers last week. Lamar Jackson throws for 5 touchdowns. Now he has 15 touchdowns and I believe only 2 interceptions. Henry is on his way to 1,000 yards. He could possibly get 1,000 yards this game. I believe he needs only 150 yards or 175 yards to get to 1,000. He has 10 to 11 touchdowns rushing and catching. Caught a touchdown last week. So they're firing on all cylinders. Bateman looked really great. Zay Flowers, the other guy. They're 2 tight ends. Likely and Andrews, a good duo. And they have a great backup running back in Justice Hill behind him. So the Ravens are looking awesome. The only thing about the Ravens is they have a piss poor secondary. One of the worst passing defense. It is actually the worst, ranked last, 32th in passing yards allowed. That is terrible. They're number 1 in rushing, and they're number 1 in points scored, and they're number 1 in rush defense. So they have everything going around them, but you can pass on this terrible defense. And to add, more fuel to the fire here about how bad their defense is, Humphrey, their starting corner, is doubtful for this game, and Wiggins, the young kid who I believe starts for them, or he gets a lot of time for them, is questionable for the game. So the secondary is more beat up. They haven't covered a spread this year when they're favored by 8.5 points or more. So the Ravens are a team that's really great, but you go dig the numbers here, they're not going to win this game. Don't get me wrong. But I think this could be a sneaky cover by the Browns, with Winston adding some juice to the whole offense. So let's get to it. The Ravens are 5-2 against the spread. Really great. Jackson MVP candidate, top 3. Henry, MVP candidate, he's right up there too. Best running back for sure. Number 1 in rushing. Number 1 in points scored. Number 1 rush defense. So all that together, with the Browns, get some extra juice from Jameis Winston. Give me the over 45. I think this is a 30-20 game, or 34-20 game. Okay, or 28-20 game. I think that's how I think the Cleveland could put up a couple touchdowns and some field goals through the air on the Ravens. But I think the best play is the over 48. And if I was going to bet the other way, I would take the Browns at 8.5 or 9 or 9.5. I think they make a sneaky cover here. I think the Ravens are going to look past them, and I think the Browns can make a sneaky cover. But I think the best play is 45 points on the over.